Contractors and service-based business owners don't waste money because Facebook or Google ads don't work. They waste them because of these 5 mistakes. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix them. So what we're going to cover is the 5 biggest marketing money pits for contractors and how you're going to actually avoid them. So when you decide to run paid advertising like Google or Facebook, you're actually going to get a return on your investment. So let's jump right into the video. So first thing is we're going to talk about is bad offers, right? The problem that happens most of the time is in the contracting space or service business space, you offer free estimates. Well, that's not an offer. That's just default. You should offer the free estimate, as that's just part of doing business, right? Some people do pay, but at the end of the day, you've got to have more than just we do a free estimate, because it's not offering them something that's going to entice them to want to actually reach out to you unless they're just looking for a price. Now, why does this waste money when it comes to paid advertising? No one stops scrolling for something they can get from 50 other contractors or other businesses, right? Everybody is putting free estimate. You're no different than anybody else. And most of the time, what you're speaking to as far as your offer and your marketing message, it's not piercing through the noise, and therefore you're going to get price shoppers, and it's going to be more difficult to close deals. So what's going to happen is you're going to think marketing doesn't work, you just need word of mouth, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to your offer just sucks. So what do you need to do instead to actually fix it? Well, make it specific. So something simple like if you're, let's say you're a roofing restoration or storm contractor, right? So same day storm inspection with drone photos, right? Very specific about what you're going to do, other than like, hey, we'll give you a free estimate. Well, this gives a little more detail about what you're going to do when you come and do the inspection. Or make it a benefit driven thing. Protect your home from leaks before the next storm. And then last thing, add some urgency. Limit to 5 homeowners this week. Meaning you don't have to say it specific like that, but just be like, hey, we can only book 10 appointments this week, right? So if you need something desperately right now, go ahead and get this thing booked up so we can come out, inspect, and then take care of whatever problem you have with your home. So just to give you an example of a couple of different ads that I see, we have one ad here that's the creative that is doing really well. Why do I know it's doing really well? Because we're actually running the ads, so we know it's successful, versus another one we found online that I know for a fact that it's not doing well. So let's get into it here. So the first one you see is one that pretty much you see everywhere online is a Facebook ad, and everybody just zones out on it. And it just says something like, your home deserves the best and this company delivers, right? Well, who cares? That's not a hook. That's just presenting people that we're a company that does this service. Nobody cares. From repairs and replacements and storm damage restoration, siding and gutters, our team combines years of big company. Once again, everything is about this company. Nothing's about the homeowner, who you're trying to solve the problem for. High quality craftsmanship, durable, long lasting, free estimates available. Nobody cares. And then if you look at the creative at the bottom, once again, it's just telling me what you guys do. Nobody cares that you do. They get it. You do roofing services. But what specifically are you going to do for them to help solve their problem? Other one. So if we look at this other one here, so number one, we've got social proof all over the place on this ad, right? So we've got the roof that was finished. So it was a nice metal roof. We've got the actual homeowner sitting out in front of the home saying that they had an exceptional experience. You've got trust badges there, Google guaranteed, GAF certified, TAMCO Pro certified. And then the offer there, look at it on the page there, a new roof without wrecking your wallet. 0 down, low monthly payments. That's a better offer than just being like, we offer roofing services. So think about that, right? If you're doing paid advertising, and this could be translated to Google as well, make sure that your offer sticks out amongst everybody else and you're not just saying the same thing over and over again. All right, money pit number 2 is generic ad campaigns. Now, the problem here is typically what people do on Facebook is they just boost some posts, meaning they just want to get more people to see it. Or the worst phrase that I hate all the time, I just want to get my name out there more. And in the South, that's how we say it. If you're somewhere else, not in the South watching this video, it probably won't make sense to you. But most people in the South are like, hey, I just want to get my name out there, right? It's the worst marketing strategy on the planet, and that's why most people don't believe in it. And now, while word of mouth is super powerful, and yes, it works really well, and you can grow a decent business with that, but if you're looking to build a business that's going to run without you or limited time with you so you have freedom and money, the things that you wanted, right? That's what we talk about on this channel. then you need to go beyond just getting your name out there. So when the problem happens with generic ad campaigns is like they'll put a post out that's generic, like the Facebook ad I just showed you, and it'll be just a boosted post. There's broad targeting, and you're just going to waste your marketing budget, right? You're just like, well, I'm going to throw something out there to get more people to know that we're here and exist. There's a time and place for that, but it needs to still be done in the right way and done by adding value. So why does this waste money? Well, number one, you're just showing people that you exist, but you have no tracking. There's no testing to see if the ad works, no goal, no clarity on what's actually working. Most of the time it's just like, I'm just going to put it out there and see what happens. You need to have some type of goal in mind and set that, like, if I'm going to run a Google ad or I'm running Facebook ads, like I want it to have an end goal in mind. Not all ads that are run are based on generating leads. Sometimes you need to build trust. Sometimes you do need to make people aware, but it doesn't need to be like, I'm aware that your business exists. It needs to be like, here are problems that you have, and we're going to help you figure out what those problems are and solve those. That's going to be value-driven based post or based advertising that's going to help somebody, right? And then you retarget it off of there, and we can do other videos about that later. Now, what do you need to do instead? Kind of went into this a little bit, but always run ads. If you're going to do it like Facebook, right? We're talking a lot about that here. If you're going to run ads in Facebook, run it inside the ads manager, right? Don't just boost the button. If you're going to do creatives or whatever, you want to test 2 to 3 variations at the same time. And then just make sure you have different headlines and images that go with it, right? Because when you're doing marketing, you can have a really good idea of what your market needs or wants, but at the end of the day, until you test it and figure out what is going to draw people into your business based on your goal, you don't really know. And all great marketing and advertising companies do the same exact thing. They just test. Some test at a larger scale than others because they have a bigger budget. All right. And then use custom audiences. This means like people who visit your website in the past, people who've engaged with your page, lookalike of customers, things like that. Once again, we can do another video later on that to go into more detail if you're doing things like Facebook ads. Now let's get into money pit number 3, and that is broken websites. Oh man, do I see this all the time. I've been on, this week I've been on probably 4 sales calls with other business owners that have broken websites that make no sense or confusing. So what happens is, and the problem with a website that's broken is ads drive traffic to a confusing, slow, or generic website. Your website has to have a goal in mind and show customers what they need answers to. Right? Marcus Sheridan talks about this in his videos. They ask, you tell, whatever. Can't remember the title off my hand. I should. But what happens, because I've read the book just recently, and what happens is people go to your website and they're either confused about what they're supposed to do next, about what you really do, what problems you really solve, like, am I really your right customer? And they don't say that, but intrinsically, like, they're looking at the site going, I don't know if I need to call them. Like, it should be really easy for me to get on your site and go, oh yeah, I trust these people. This is exactly what I need. I'm going to call them, and this is exactly how I get in touch with them, and here's what the next steps are, right? Your website needs to be doing these things. So why does this waste money when you have a generic website? Well, people click, they don't know what you do, and they bounce. And they go to your competitor that probably has a little bit better website and is a little more, understands like exactly what their customer is, and they end up calling them instead. Or they just end up calling as many people as possible until they get an answer, right? And that's not a great experience for the customer, right? So you want to give them a good one. So what do you do instead? Your headline on your website, what we call above the fold. And what we mean by that is when I open up your website, whether it's on my phone or whether it's on a desktop or a tablet, the very first thing at the top before you have to start scrolling, that's called above the fold. Now, what you want it to say is it needs to be very clear about what you do and who you serve in that headline. So this is an example, just general, serving Birmingham homeowners with reliable roof replacements since 2005, right? Much better, right? Because I know, okay, Birmingham, I'm in that market or area. I know they're going to serve me. This is what I do, right? If you want to get even deeper into it, you can be like serving Pelham, which is more specific, right? It's where I live, and surrounding communities, serving Pelham and surrounding communities with reliable roof replacements since 2005, right? That is being more specific, so people know, oh, you're in my area. And a lot of times, if you go deeper on the city and say surrounding communities or surrounding areas, it will connect with people more because they know that you're local. But when you start going, even your service city like Birmingham is very generic. And it's a big city, right? Like it's a metro area. I say big relatively. But when you start getting into the suburbs and stuff, people start really connecting with that. So they know that you're local. You need one strong call to action. You don't need 10 buttons, right? So one strong, fill out the form, to get a quote, right? Or fill out a form to book an appointment, or call us today. Something super simple. And then fast load speed. Man, are we spoiled. Because back in the AOL days, you had to wait a minute for that dial-up to kick in. It took a phone line if you couldn't afford to pay for a second phone line to run internet, and man, it sucks. But nowadays, even on our phone, if it takes the website too long to load, we're pissed. We're like, I'm moving on to the next person. So fast website speed is important, and because that's a user experience thing. And obviously, if you page load slow, people are going to bounce more. Google's going to see that as signals, and they're not going to show your website to more people. All that is connected, right? So fast load speed. And then trust elements. Do you have reviews? Do you have job photos? Do you have local proof? Do you have trust badges like Google Guaranteed, or where you're certified in specific things in your industry? So here is an example of a website. Now, this is my actual fence company. We're a distributor of the permanently concrete fence. And we've been running Facebook ads to the site, and they're crushing. It's like $9 leads right now, and so it's doing really well. Now, here's the thing I want you to see as far as like highlights. So if you look at the top, first thing, the last fence you'll ever install. Well, if you saw my Facebook ad, you'll know that it's one specific type of fence. And we know that it's got a lifetime guarantee on it. All that's pushed in the ad. So when I come here, boom, I know this is the last fence I'll ever install. Right below it quickly explains what we do. We supply permanently concrete fences, a generational fence built to last a lifetime, backed by a product guarantee, and installed by trusted local contractor through our network, right? So that I know that, boom, it makes sense. I'm supposed to be here. And so immediately, right, couple things. One, request my quote is right there. I literally don't have to go any further. I could have seen the ad, wanted to call, and I hop on here and boom. Now, if I'm not convinced I need to learn more, then I can thumb around the page and look at everything else on there. But above the fold, this is above the fold. And then if I'm not a person that likes to call, likes to fill out a form, you can just have a call now button. And then even better, at the very top, it also shows our hours of operation. So I know not to call outside those hours of operation. Or if I want to dig even deeper, I can go into social media and see if they are an active business. That happens a lot. So this is just a great example of a highly converting website. And how do I know? Because I actually am doing it right now. I'm actually running the data. Leads are great. Quality is great. Conversion is great. So I'm actually doing what I do for our clients and what I tell other people they should be doing for their business. All right, money pit number 4, no trust signals. Now, what do we mean? The problem with this is people don't believe you're legit without proof nowadays. There's so much stuff on the internet, so many scams, so many people that could just throw something up. You got to have some way to provide social proof or proof that you are who you say you are. Okay. Now, why is it waste money when you're not providing social proof online? And this could be social media. This could be your ad. This could be your website. All these things need to have social proof. So if I see your ad, whether it's Google or Facebook, and then I go check reviews, and then I'm going to bail if I don't find any, right? Now, not everybody gets reviews on social media, but a lot of people get them on Google. So if I'm not seeing reviews on Google and seeing what kind of experience customers are having, then I'm probably going to go to somebody else because I'm not going to trust that you're actually in business or that you even do enough business that you're worthwhile to call. So what do you need to do? Number 1, get more reviews. More is better. This requires implementing a process in your business that's asking for them and making it easy for the customer to get. So we work with a lot of contractors, and what we tell them is usually you're doing some type of work and you got to do a final inspection or a final walkthrough if they're a legitimate good business with the customer and being like, hey, look, I want to walk through everything with you. Let's show you all this stuff. And then I'm going to do a quick check again to make sure everything's good. While I'm doing that, if you feel like you had a 5-star experience, did you? Yes, great. Do you mind sharing that experience on Google? And they'll be, yes. Great, love it. Good. Here's a link right here. You got your phone with you? Most people do. They'll click on they'll either snap a QR code or they'll just click the link, right? I'm going to text you a link right now. Get it? Cool. Did you get logged in? Help them make sure they're logged in their Gmail account or whatever, and they're starting to do the review. They find it. Great. If you'll do that, I'm going to go check again for you real quick. And then you can walk away, go check the grounds. And when they're done, great. You got yourself another review. And because when it comes to things like SEO, when you're trying to rank and get your business to show up higher on Google and the maps and in searches, so more people will find your business organically, this is a big factor into that. So make sure you're doing it. What do you need to do on website and socials? Show before and after on job photos. Videos are great, video time-lapse videos. And then use local language in your content and on your website. So this is a big thing lately I've been testing with some of our clients too, is like in the copy, when it comes to social media content or ads, we're saying things like serving Hoover, Pelham, and Birmingham, meaning like all these suburbs and these cities are within the whole metropolitan area. And what it's doing is it's connecting with people who are closer to me, like in Hoover and Pelham, or if I say Vestavia Hills, or if I say Helena. Like, so we've got these areas around me that everybody knows, right? Birmingham, they're like, Birmingham, there's downtown Birmingham, that's 25 minutes away. But when I start really connecting local there, then people know that, oh yeah, they're here, right? And what gets lost a lot of times is contractors or other business owners will be like, well, we can serve all of Birmingham. We want to serve all these people. Great. And you can serve people 30 minutes away if you want, but don't put that in your language, because somebody who's in Trustful 25 minutes east of us knows Hoover and Pelham. Somebody that's in, I'm trying to think, McCalla knows Helena or Calera. Like, and I'm talking about these cities. If you're watching this video not in Alabama, you're gonna be like, I don't know what he's talking about. But just for context, right? All these people know these specific areas, right? So they still are going to connect with it, regardless if they feel like they're in their service area or not. And the last thing, and this is so difficult to do, and I struggle with this as well, put customer testimonial videos up. Ask customers, have a process, find your best, most animated, people that love your business and get them on video. All right, and money pit number 5, no follow-up process. Now, some people think that, the problem that happens in a lot of businesses, and what we find, leads come in the door, no one follows up, or the follow-up is super slow. And you're losing leads because of this. And that's when you think marketing doesn't work, or I'm not getting return on my advertising. It's because we just don't follow up properly with people. We think we're overextending. We think we're bugging them. But you need to have a follow-up process in place that's going to not seem salesy or not seem like you're bugging them, right? Because they initially contacted you because they wanted information, or they're raising their hand saying, I need help with something. So don't feel bad to follow up quickly and get them on the phone. And I just think a lot of people are scared about that. So I think there's a lot of time and money and effort spent into like getting more leads in the door, but not near enough time spent. And this is why this is number 5 to me, and probably the most important, in following up. And like, how do we create a process that's going to nurture them and get them to, close a deal or whatever it is and become a customer or become a client? So why does this waste money? Most leads go cold within hours and not days. It is a microwave age. So customer experience and quick customer experience is kind of the name of the game. And if you're not having processes set up to engage with them fast and quickly, you're more than likely going to lose the lead to somebody else that will. And to give you an example, like when I was looking for a lawn care service, I would look on websites, and if they look trustworthy, I'd call them. I can't tell you, I called 14 businesses for lawn care. 3 picked up when I called out of 14. Some out of the 3, none of them gave me the right information, or they just were like, they answered my questions, but then they didn't offer to come out and estimate the property or do this. They didn't even ask for the sale. They just were like, okay, cool. And you got any other questions? And that was it. They were like waiting for me to say, I choose you, instead of asking for my business. But then what happened is some of the ones I called and left a message, the first ones that called me back out of the 14, one of them, the first one that actually called me back, they were like, hey, where do you live at? Great. Can I come by this afternoon and look at it? Yeah, absolutely. He goes, I said, do I need to be home? I said, nope. As long as you know I'm coming around this time and your neighbors don't come after me, right? That's great. So they came, looked at the property, and they immediately called me and said, hey, yep, it would be this much to do this. Is this something you want to do? Great. And then they walked me through the next steps, and boom, they've been doing my lawn care for the past 3 years. Imagine what that does for your business to keep somebody like that, because they could have done better, but essentially they did eventually follow up, okay? So what do you need to do instead? Number 1, use a CRM, a customer relationship management tool, right? So if we have clients that don't have one, we default to go high level because we have it, it's there, they can use it to track leads and follow up with leads, and it's good for that, right? There are a lot of industry-specific CRMs you can use, and I always recommend as you grow, move into those, right? You don't always have to use high level. But if you don't even have that, at least have a spreadsheet that you look at. But you need to be tracking your customers, and you need to be getting their permission to get their information so you can target them later when you get bigger with more offers through email or text or, you know, sending them out, you know, flyers, or hey, thank you for your business, or hey, looking for referrals, right? Getting a customer base, saving that customer base, and retargeting them later down the road is important. Not only top of that, right, using those customers that aren't ready to buy now, but maybe in 3 months from now, and following up with them. Another prime example, had somebody reach out and be like, hey, I'm looking at doing this fence project in September, right? And this was back in June. I'm like, perfect, no problem. I'm here to answer your questions. What do you got? And so I walked them through what it would be to, you know, get this fence shipped out. What's the pricing looking like? Walking them through, like, you know, they're thinking about wood or vinyl. And I said, well, what's your future look like in 10 years from now? And so I just was kind of walking them through it. I said, great. Well, look, whenever you're ready, okay, follow us on social media. You can see the cool stuff we got going on. But I said, I'm going to follow up with you in 2 months, right? I got a note right here. It's going to remind me to give you a call. And I'm going to ask you where you're at in your project. And if anything has changed, are you okay with that? Like, yeah, perfect. So then I followed up again later, right? And I was like, hey, just seeing where you're at in the project. Told you I'd follow up. Has anything changed for you? Like, no, I think we're going to go with the fence. Cool. When would you like to do it? Like, this time. Cool. I'm going to follow up again on this day, which we hadn't gotten there yet because I'm recording this video in August. I'm going to follow up 1st of September and go, hey, are you ready? Awesome. Let's get it done. And then they already know what to expect. I know the timeline of when everything's going to be delivered and what they need to do, and they set up contractors. But because I didn't just forget that lead, I'm now more than likely going to close that lead and make money because I nurtured them and I followed up with them properly. Now, so use a CRM. Second, assign someone to call or text within 5 minutes. Or I've heard companies, listen to people like Alex Ramosi that said that one guy had a 80% close rate because they hired somebody to literally call somebody within minutes when a lead came in. That was their only job. Call them, qualify them, put them into a booking call, and that was it. That's it. Having what we call a setter in the high ticket industry. So having somebody to call or text within 5 minutes with a specific script to follow with every lead and qualify them properly and get them the next steps is going to absolutely crush it for your business and should be one of the first things that you install. We had a client that was doing okay. They're doing about $750,000 a year. Great. That's a great business to me. People are like, oh, I'm not at $1 million. Dude, $750,000 and profitable. It's a great business. Anyways, they're like, we want to get up to 1.5. And so there wasn't any increase in their marketing efforts. They just hired somebody to do this. Answer the phone, call somebody. And when they did that, they hit the 1.5 without increasing their marketing efforts, because this person will follow up with leads, qualify leads, get in touch with people, nurture them, and all that stuff that help them close those more deals. So just think about that in your business. And then track close rate and cost per lead, right? And cost per acquisition. What does it cost to actually get a customer? So you can figure out a way to reduce that. Business industry, if you don't know, they call it CAC, CAC. And you always want to reduce your CAC as much as possible and increase your profitability per job or per customer. That's the goal, right? That's how you're going to win a lot of times in business. And then define success. So for you, in a follow-up, if 10 leads come in at $50 each, and that equals 2 jobs that you're going to close at $4,000, we're good, right? That's what you want to look at. You want to work backwards to understand what you need in order to be successful and get a return on your investment for marketing. So you need to fix these 5 money pits first, so you're not just handing over money to Facebook and Google and not getting a return on your own business. Now, if you need help with any of this stuff, right, we've got a couple of videos we'll throw up on the screen. They're going to help you walk through on how to fix a few things we talk about in this video. So check those out. Go through, fix these things before you jump into paid advertising. And I promise you'll close more deals and increase your revenue and grow your business. And of course, as always, if you want to book a strategy call with me to see if we can actually help you implement this in your business, there's a link in the description below. You can click on it, book right directly with me, and we'll hop on a call and build a strategy that's going to work for your company.